Hey guys, Aaron from the Launchpad Podcast. We just got back from San Diego Comic-Con. I know we haven't had an episode out in a while. Been busy. I was out in Boston filming Dead City. Then we had to get ready for Comic-Con, and it has just been a race to the finish line. But we got there, we had a blast, and now we're going to start dropping those interviews, dropping all that stuff that we filmed while in San Diego. We got a good one. This is our floor show. This is where we sit after a week of exhaustion and talk about the cool things we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. Got my brother Kevin in the mix. And of course, Matt and I break down all the awesome interviews that we got, cool things that we saw, and we're going to start releasing that little by little. So here we go. Let's dive into it. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at LaunchpadPod, and our website, launchpadpod.com, and on YouTube, where you might be watching this episode. Who knows? Anyway, hit like and subscribe, follow us, share it with your friends. Let's get on with the show.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
All right, welcome to Launchpad Podcast. I'm Aaron.
I'm Matt.
And Matt, we're at the biggest nerd show in the world. It's the Nerd Pilgrimage. We're at San Diego Comic-Con, and I brought my brother Kevin. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, y'all. It's good to be here.
Yeah? This is your first San Diego Comic-Con. You've been to other Comic-Cons, been to Gen Con, but how did San Diego hit you?
Like a truck. Honestly, it's
Wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's the scope of it is really insane. There's so many people here. San Diego is just a wild city in its own right, and there's so much to do here. So much cool stuff to see. Just complete, sensory overload, and it's so cool. There's so much cool stuff to see, and I had a real good time. I kind of feel like I've done a great intro, just to walk around and see what it's like.
It is what day? Today is our third day here.
Yeah.
Third and a half day. It's Saturday, midday Saturday. We were here. We all got here Wednesday night at varying times with varying degrees of difficulty.
Kevin went through flight hell.
Oh yeah.
You got
what happened? Stranded in Dallas. Flew from Indianapolis to Dallas. Got in at Dallas around 12-ish, and as soon as I landed, turned on that phone, and it said, "Your connecting flight's canceled." And then it was like, you open up the app and figure out where we can get you rerouted. And I opened up the app, and there were no options. So I
ran. You put on a Flash costume.
Yeah, ran all the way down, and then there was a 2-hour long line to get to customer service for America Airlines. Shout out to American Airlines for being terrible and you're garbage. So then I went on Google, found some Southwest flights out of another Dallas airport. Shout out to Dallas Love Field Airport. Jumped in a cab, got over there, bought that ticket, went through security, and then you know what? I got to get on a plane to Denver. And then I had about 15 minutes in the Denver airport before I boarded for my next flight to San Diego. And then hopped in a cab with my luggage, came straight here for the preview night, and got an hour on the floor at the exhibit hall, which was really cool. I'm glad I got to go there early. And
That must have been a lot to take in an hour for your first couple minutes here at the con, to just know you're coming and then running right back out because
welcome to one of the biggest rooms you'll see in your life. You have an hour. Choose wisely.
Look around.
It's also a room filled with shit that you're interested and excited, literally designed to get your attention from everything from when you were a kid till now. What do you think? What hit you biggest your first night, do you think?
Sharing a bed. The tiny little bit.
What hit me the hardest?
The fact that we couldn't figure out if the air conditioning was actually
I think
or
it
just
was
making a noise.
I think it was the air conditioning not really working. That was the roughest. But at the convention, I don't know. It was really cool to see like I've never seen this much comic book art on display, right? Because I go to Gen Con every year. I've been going to Gen Con for many years. A lot of great artists there, but the arts are all paintings or they're, prints, but you don't see as much comic book art there. And to see the like sketches and see all that here. And I know Matt's really into collecting that and he loves that whole world of art. And that's cool to see here because like you don't see that at Gen Con, which is what I'm most used to. So that was really cool to see, and just to see like, talented artists art that I recognize, art that's iconic, and to see how much ridiculous amounts of money it's all going for, which is very cool. It's cool to see all that.
Speaking of, what did you spend money on the first night? What was something cool that you got the first night?
I think the first night we walked by the Godzilla booth, and I immediately saw a cute little novelty toy that was like new at the convention, and it's like a little egg-shaped transformer, basically. Of the one I got was King Ghidorah, and it was it's like a little egg shape, and you pull it out, and the 3 little heads pop out. It has little arms, and I was like, well, I have to get this. This is a cute little toy. I think they were already sold out of Godzilla that night, but we were able to pick another. We were able to pick up the Godzilla at a vendor booth shortly near the end of the night. So I got a couple cute little Godzilla transforming eggs that are very cute. I didn't come here to spend a bunch of money. I came here to experience things and buy a bunch of cute little swag and buttons and pins and cute little figures and stuff like that. So that's mostly what I've been trying to pick up.
And it has been a big Godzilla con because this is his 70th anniversary. 2 huge movies just came out this year. So there's a lot of kaiju stuff, a lot of Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
We had some awesome interviews, some awesome meetings with some people. I guess we should mention them, right?
I mean, who knows what will air, but we got to talk to the director of Godzilla Final Wars and Versus, which I love.
And Midnight Meat Train.
And Midnight Meat. We didn't talk to him about Midnight Meat Train.
We didn't even bring that.
Oh,
that's a bad miss. That's a bad miss. It's all right. It's all
Excuse
good.
me, sir. We need to get you back on the show.
Yeah. There's always next year, right?
Right? Who knows? He was great. He showed Matt some kendo moves, which was rad.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was really cool. And like I love that Godzilla movie. I love all things Godzilla. And there's just tons of Godzilla stuff here this weekend. We also got to talk to a guy who has played Kong in the most recent King Kong X Godzilla Mountain Dew movie. It was great. And that's Alan Henry. He is a motion capture artist who has played King Kong. He played Scar King. At the point. And he also played Cocaine Bear.
Like awesome. A lot of people don't realize that wasn't just a CG bear. But there's a guy doing the performance
now you
inside
meet him,
behind it.
When I see the King Kong toys from that movie, it's him.
Oh, yeah.
His facial expression and the beard are put into that character.
His proportions, and it was really cool to watch him. You'll see on the interview when I talked to him, I was like, hey, teach me how to be Kong. And he shows me, how to hold your chest, and he explains like how Kong doesn't really turn his neck. And when you see him do it, you can immediately see, what would it be, like a 200, 300 foot ape doing that. And you're like, oh, okay, I can see that. And I can see it's that Kong specifically. He was also super cool, super fun. We did, let's just say we did some hijinks. So definitely check out the Alan Henry interview. And then we also talked to one of your favorite artists, right? Who is not just a Godzilla or kaiju artist, but you talked to your boy Attack Peter.
Yeah. Attack Peter over at Mondo. I love all his work. He does this lino cut or work on the lino blocks, and it's where you literally carve out the negative image, cover it with ink on the block, and then place that on the print. And the resulting image is always just a really unique and interesting poster. And it's Saturday. They told me to come back Sunday to see if I can snag the last copy of the Godzilla Mechagodzilla print.
It's going to make or break your con, right?
It's going to make or break.
It's the one thing he wants.
That's the one thing I wanted. I spent money on other things. I got a white whale. We were wandering around and we found all these bins of toys that were in pretty good condition at awesome prices. That was a Big Apple.
Shout out to Big Apple Comics.
Yeah, Big Apple Comics out of New York. And that guy was a trip. He was so fun.
Michael.
And he was like, "You found it, awesome!" And he just had a fun vibe. I liked him.
I saw him give a fan an extra toy that they were eyeing when she had already bought a figure, and then he was like, "Oh, I saw you eyeing this one. You should just have it." He's like, "You take it. Just shout me out. Just shout me out on
quick cost analysis of I got to bring that home. That toy weighs 1 pound.
Yeah.
I'll take it for $10 for it.
You can always haggle. On the exhibit floor.
So cool. So the white whale that I found was the Dracula playset from Todd McFarlane's Monster Playsets. I have all the other ones. This is the one I've been missing. This is one I've been looking for. We've had those for years.
Yeah, we had them all. I remember we got them for Christmas one year. We each got one, and then it was that lit the fire. You had? I had the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Now, did you play together and not do you keep yours over here and he keeps his over here, or did you guys play together?
Mostly we kept them on either side, and then when the other wasn't home, all bets were off.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was old enough that I wasn't going to break Aaron's toys.
Okay, got it.
There was definitely a time where it was
they were McFarlane toys. They broke on their own. You didn't have to play with them.
They didn't need much help.
Yeah. All you had to do was look at them and it was like, pop.
Those ones were pretty sturdy, though, because they were smaller scale than most of his Spawn figures or whatever. But they were sturdier than most. But yes, they were not. You had to be gentle with them.
The Mummy, I have one it's not the miniature playset one. It was his Todd McFarlane Monsters. He had a mummy, and this one has become so brittle that every time I touch this thing, it just snaps off. That guy spent the $100. Holy shit. We just saw a Batman medal.
The Batman Who Laughs.
The Batman Who Laughs.
The Bat Who Laughs costume that was
just covered in leather. It's
it was good. I couldn't see where his eyes were. That was pretty good.
That person is covered in leather, just sweating profusely.
There have
and chains.
Multiple costumes that I wish I could check in on that person a few hours later to make sure they're okay. Yeah. I saw a guy in full on Venom with that. I think he had hand sculpted with bathroom latex, caulking latex. So it's just a full silicone suit.
Oh, I know who you're talking about too.
You can't breathe in a silicone suit. Head to
silicone
toe.
is impermeable on purpose. That's why you have
that's kind of its purpose, right?
And I feel like he had a spandex suit that he just took a caulk gun and went bloop, 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 and then sculpted it on with a tooth, tongue depressor.
But it looked great, though.
Looked awesome. That guy's going to die.
That guy's in the hospital right now, but he looked good.
Send thoughts and prayers.
I want to hit that guy up. Are you okay, buddy? Did you drink enough water? Did you take 25-minute breaks every 25 minutes?
What we should do is get those, we're nerds, so this is a football reference, so stay with me. But the Gatorade bottles that they squirt in the Super Bowl, they squirt in the guy's mouths. We should just be doing that to Venoms and Batman Who Laugh and stuff. Yeah.
But he was it was the Spider-Man Venom suit, so he had no mouth.
But it goes, if he needs to drink, it goes because we are Venom. We will eat your brains, and can we have a sip of water?
Shout out to electrolytes.
Yeah, man. Stay hydrated. That's been my number one tip. Anybody who's oh, it's my first con. I was on the plane with a lot of first-time conners, and their whole thing, what should I do? What should I do? Stay hydrated, because it doesn't matter. You don't have to eat. You can forget to eat, but if you aren't hydrated, you're going to pass out. Just saying.
No. My number one tip is don't do an interview sitting on the con floor like we're doing, because then you're butt level to everyone that walks by. And what happened the first time we did that? Someone farted right in our face. It's true. If you don't remember that, go back. Yeah. If you don't remember that, Crop Dust Con 2019 or whatever it was.
2018.
No, it was longer than that.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. 18 sounds about better.
But we had our panel fucking rocked.
Thursday night, we had Ghostface's Killer Trivia. Second year in a row. We had amazing prizes. We had a
great crowd.
Ghostface Stab Inferno mask that was like the silver plated chrome one, signed by Roger Jackson. A meat cleaver signed by him. Picture signed by him. We got our buddy Blaine at NECA hooked us up with a Inferno Ghostface figure that is gorgeous. Rumi was trying to literally to little dribble drool on it. I pulled it away from him.
I wanted it, man. I don't. That's one I don't have. I'm looking for it. I've been looking around the floor. Nobody has this one.
That's true. I didn't realize that, but yeah, I didn't see it. Blaine signed it for us, which is pretty cool. We made T-shirts. You have our old T-shirt on. Rumi made a new T-shirt for this year, and Roger Jackson, voice of Ghostface, he designed a shirt for us as well. So we have 3 different T-shirts this year, and everybody wanted those.
We're gonna have to start selling these. I'm dead serious.
We should, but what was the cool thing we did? We purposely kept some kind of in reserve so that we didn't give them all away at the panel. What was our idea that so far has been really fun and kind of panned out? At
the end of the panel, we said, if you see us, we're going to save some shirts for every day. And if you see us on the floor and you hit us up and you answer a trivia question right, you're going to get a shirt. And people have been hitting us up, which is so cool.
Yeah, coming up and finding us in the con, being like, Ghostface Trivia. We turn around, Launchpad Podcast. We turn around, they're like, give us a question. One person has won a shirt. 2 people got the runner-up prize, which is an eye patch from Walking Dead. They did not win the shirts yet. So
the question, Coral. One of my good questions. It was a really good one. It was which horror director got their start as a cameraman on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and they didn't get it. It's George Romero.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite pieces of trivia.
We've said that before too, right? I think maybe it was either in our episode or on when we were doing Famous Monsters of Filmland's podcast a couple years ago when they asked us to take over their show for a month. We definitely did. I think that's when it was. We did like a zombie and Night of the Living Dead episode for them.
And we've talked about Mr. Rogers several times too. And it's like, he got his start there. George Romero got like a donation for Mr. Rogers. Like Mr. Rogers crowdfunded him before there was crowdfunding. He donated to that Kickstarter to get Dawn of the Dead made. Like, come on, that's so cool.
Shout out to Mr. Rogers for being a total sweetheart.
Oh, so cool.
Supporting the arts.
And like, apparently the story goes that he showed Mr. Rogers Night of the Living Dead. Mr. Rogers goes, "Oh, that's fun."
I was like, "Oh, that's good." I thought that was a good movie. Not really my thing, but like it was very supportive of him and stuff, which you'd expect Mr. Rogers to be. But it's cool. It's been fun to have people come up to us, and we're coming up with questions on the spot. We were using questions that we didn't use from the panel that we had. A lot of people had fun at the panel. Just like always, people come up to us at the end, try to stump us with questions.
A lot of people from your last year,
dude.
Huge retention of.
I was
attendance.
Floored by that. One of the first questions we get in there. Hey, we're back at San Diego Comic-Con. So happy to be here. Blah blah blah. Who was here last year? More than half the room raised their hand.
I would say it was like 80%, 90% was people who were there.
I was honestly, that floored me. I was a little choked up by that because it's like we put on something that hit people so good that even though this year we were an hour later, they were like, that's what I'm here for. And the guy who won, Brennan, shout out to him. He was like, this was the one panel I wanted to make.
I didn't hear that part. That's cool.
Yeah, he wasn't there last year, but he came this year. And then shout out to Jacob from last year for doing the bitchin' video with us.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks out from con, he emails us.
Jacob, the winner from last year's trivia.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, I want to be involved somehow.
I'm not coming to the con. Can I do something? Can I say a message or can I do a video?"
Yeah.
So I had an idea. I said, "Yeah, you can."
It was a great idea because it's like we just wanted to do something fun. We can record it. You know, it's always a gamble when you don't know somebody's acting ability or like, you know, if they're going to read on camera the way you want it to. He killed it.
And the audience, killed with the audience.
I have no embarrassment by saying when we were like, we have a message here from Jacob, last year's winner. That was the biggest reaction the crowd, and the crowd was giving reactions the whole night. It was the biggest reaction the crowd gave the whole night when we said Jacob's name. They went crazy.
And that was before he got killed by Ghostface.
Yeah.
They went nuts.
Even crazier.
Oh, it was great idea. Thanks for hitting us up, Jacob. And to you and your girlfriend for putting that together with us. That was
it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. It was giving out prizes. A girl guessed
good shirt.
the answer
I'm seeing an awesome Jason Goes to Hell shirt there.
from Japan.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really good one.
There was a girl who was in the finals. She guessed a way to kill Jaws. One of the questions was,
She was about to be out, and she was
she's
like,
close. I said, I don't know. She's like, I don't know. I was like, just guess. What's another way to kill Jaws if an oxygen tank is not available? And she was like, electrocution? And we were like, yeah, it's Jaws too. And she literally did like I don't know what you call it because I'm not a cheerleader, but
high kick.
kicked up with her foot and her knee almost hit herself in the face. It was fantastic because she was so excited. And it's that excitement like from last year that like just gets us more.
That was the Ade Dewey Dembele of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to everybody who won prizes. Face Girl coming back. Yeah,
we had people because last year, if you haven't seen that video or if you haven't seen our coverage of it, I was just giving people names. So I was like, yellow shirt guy, hat guy, whatever. There was a girl who I called Face Girl because every time she raised her hand, she went, Face Girl. And she came up to me. And it's funny because the other day I was driving and I was like, what was that girl's name? Because she came up to us at the end of last year's show and asked for a picture. So when she came up this year, she was like, can we take a picture? I was like, yes, but remind me, I know I gave you a name. She was like, Face Girl. Show me the face.
It was great. It was so great to see everybody. The funniest thing, the second you are doing trivia, people think you're good at trivia.
Yeah, I'm going to get you.
I know my shit, but like, I'm not a trivia person. Afterwards, everybody comes up, I'm going to stump you. I'm going to stump you. It's like, I bet you will. Oh, I think
13 minutes and 47 seconds into screen 3. You can hear a noise. What is that?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
What color is Tom Savini's makeup in Dawn of the Dead?
What color is the interior of Tom Savini's truck when he drove to Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The color of the zombies is baboon-ass blue.
But it is fun because we speak that language, and some of it we do, like, unless it's like crazy niche, we do usually have a pretty decent chance of getting it. I think it's fun. It's them sharing with us, you know?
I think the more you've seen that movie, like if I've seen that movie more than once, yeah, I might know that trivia. But if I've only seen a movie once and it's been over a year, I probably don't remember.
There's something else interesting. There's trivia that if you saw the movie, you can probably get it. Then there's trivia that you need to know something, like actors' names, directors' names, crew member names.
Mm-hmm.
That's outside of the homework of just watching the movie,
or just the minute details that people pick out are like, but.
Or the references within the movie. Like, to me, because we do the 3 tiers, PG, PG-13, and R. It's like, for us, PG is ones that you need to just be able to watch the movie to maybe get the answer. Mm-hmm. You know, the camp in the Friday 13th films is, if you've watched that movie, you probably know.
Then we have other questions that are like, name an actor who is in the Jason mask, in the Jason costume.
Yeah.
And like you don't know that probably from just watching the movie once or watching one of them once. You know, you got to be in there a little bit.
Yeah. But like, come on. If you don't know Kane Hodder, come on.
That was the easiest one, but there's like another
That's the go-to easy. Ari Alistair. I
had all those print. And I even had the
Ari Lyman,
the ones who played Jason as a kid, the one who played mutated weird kid Jason in the sewers of Manhattan. I even had the dude's name who was the not Jason killer in, what is it? Not New Blood.
Part
Final
5,
Fight. Yeah. And I was like, just in case someone named that wasn't technically Jason. That was an imposter.
Well, actually,
I want to throw out a little bit of an etiquette. If you win a prize, it doesn't hurt to ask if you want to trade prizes, but if the person running the event says no, just deal with it, man. That's just etiquette.
We had
right
one
there.
uncappy camper who was like, but I should be able to do that. And I was like, do what? And he was like, well, my question was about that, so I should get this prize. I was like, no. And he was like, ugh.
Sorry. I mean, just saying.
It's worth asking, but
yeah,
there's no problem asking.
You can't be mad at somebody trying to ask you, but don't be mad about it.
Yeah.
It's our game. We make the rules.
Right.
This is my game. We had a lot of fun. It was good. We did a lot of stuff. I know if we can transition away from Ghostface, one of the coolest parts for me was the other day, a buddy from school was over and I was showing him my art. And one of the pieces I have on my wall is my Dan Jurgens Superman Doomsday Justice League from like 3 or 4 issues before he dies. And I was telling him the story about how Rumi and I actually approached Dan Jurgens one time and kind of like on the hush hush got him to sign this thing that his handler was like, no sign. It was a whole thing. We talked about it in a previous episode talking about WonderCon, so check that out. But the Dan Jurgens, giant Superman, not creator, but Superman artist, Superman writer, and certainly one of the huge minds in charge of Doomsday and Death of Superman. He was so cool talking with us. He authenticated this beautiful page I have. He's like, yep, this is mine. And it's like one of the jewels of my collection. And he was so nice in that meeting. I told that story to a friend of mine, like literally a week ago. And as I'm browsing through art on preview night, Dan Jurgens walks up and he's just looking next to me. And I reintroduced myself. I said, you're not going to remember me, but I came to you with this page. And he was like, what page was it? And I reminded him. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm glad. I said, hey, I wanted to really thank you for taking that time to, stop what you were doing and talk with me about it. And he stopped looking at the art that he was. And he's like, yeah, no, that's important. We just had another bullshit conversation for 10 minutes about art and art collecting and what art means to each of us. And it was pretty cool to hear him talk about, oh yeah, because this guy inked me on that page and his stuff is so flawless. Then other people ink me differently. It's interesting for me to see what they do with their art. It's like the next progression of his thing. Go ahead.
Just inking me different, man. I just don't like the way that guy inks me. He inks all over my face is wrong.
But it was cool. It was like, that was like a highlight of this Comic-Con for me, was just another time where you get to talk to a creator that means something to you. And they're stopping what they're doing because they're interested in what you have to say. And when we were finished, like a true awesome dude and a professional, he's like, what was your name? And he reintroduced himself and shook his hand. And he's like, oh, great. Write me on my website. Maybe we can do an episode or something. It was just really nice to have that kind of human connection based on another human connection. That was a cool one. And then also for me, I went to David Finch, who last year drew this amazing piece for me. Because of that, he ended up writing the foreword for the essay book that I worked on. And then I had the page that he drew published next to my essay in that book. And I again thanked him. And he was like, you came over here to say that? I said, yeah, I'm not looking to buy anything. I just want to say thank you for doing that. I know it was extra work for you and I appreciate it. But now it means a lot to me because it's all in the same book to me. So that's you made that book better for me. And he literally was like, wow, thank you for saying that. And I was like, that's cool to connect with somebody like that, right?
It's funny, though, because you also meet artists who don't want to connect with you. Kevin and I were looking at this booth, and Kevin asked a question about it, and the guy goes, why, are you going to buy something? And I was like,
hey, can I take a picture of that poster? And the guy was like, why are you going to buy it?
I would have been like, not now.
Yeah, not anymore.
Oh, I just thought your art was really cool.
Yeah.
I was like,
because I might post it online. I don't know. You might get more recognition. What am I going to do with it? Just go print it off my phone, put it on my wall.
Next year, you got to open a booth selling posters of your phone pic of his posters.
Oh yeah, real high quality scans.
It doesn't matter.
Crappy photos
just sell
from
it
my
for
phone.
Like $10 less than his. Just undercut him a bit, and you got to get the booth right next door.
We found the booth Butts on Things, which was pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, drop what that is.
Why don't we interview them?
Yeah, Butts on Things. I don't know the artist name, but my wife sent me like their Instagram page and was like, I think she was just following artists and updates on Comic-Con, and she sent me a bunch of awesome. And the artist basically just puts little cheeks on various things, just cheeks. Like little butts, just little cheeks, little dump trucks, little two scoops. You know,
that sounds like one of those things that like that guy or girl, those creators, when they were in elementary school, when they were home and they were drawing butts on all their folders and stuff, their moms and teachers were like, "Stop that! You have to get a real job. You can't be drawing butts. Oh, you're never going to pay your morttage drawing butts."
They were sold out like yesterday. We got in line. There was a line. They were like sold out of stuff. They had an amazing Jabba the Hutt and Salacious Crumb from the back side of the two of them. Just
Han and Carbonite, the backside with his little butt sticking.
Oh, I didn't see that one. That's cool.
There was a Grogu the child with his little he had
his little tunic up,
little butt. Ghostbusters symbol turned around, so it's the ghost butt.
All of these have like built-in puns too.
That was a fun booth, and honestly, like my two big highlights so far, I got to meet like two heroes for sure. I got to meet Doug Jones. He was a sweetheart. He was so nice. He just, he came up and he was like, "Oh yeah, come on up, take pictures." And he was between Aaron and I, and he put his hands over our shoulders and then lifted himself up. He was like, "I only weigh 130 pounds." I was like, "Wet?" And he was like, "Soaking." I was like, okay.
What he said, "You be good boys now, and if you're not, be the best at being bad," or something like that. Yeah, it was great.
But like, and then we forgot that he's from Indianapolis, like our hometown. He's from there.
Oh,
and like I was like, dang it, we should have brought that up with him.
Hoosiers.
Yeah. Oh well, but he was so nice, such a nice guy, and he looked dapper as hell.
Yeah, he had the little pins with little royalty crowns.
Yeah, he had like a vest on, and
he was in a human costume, not a monster.
He was in full human garb.
And then who else did you meet? This is yesterday. So
yesterday,
I respect this actor. I think he's great. Sure, no problem. But I know Kevin loves him, and I'm walking past, and just out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, that might be the guy who I think it is. And I go, Kevin, go see if it's that guy. And Kevin runs around, and is like, whoa! And I was like, get the picture.
And it was Sam Richardson.
Yeah.
Detroiters, and I Think You Should Leave. And he got his start in Chicago doing comedy. I believe it's Second City with Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
And he's went on to be in so many movies. He was in Veep.
Yeah.
And I am just a huge fan of his. I think he's so funny. And like he's in so many movies, and like he was in what was the werewolf movie that came out?
We Are Wolves.
Yeah. He was in that.
That was really good.
He's just such a sweetheart, and he's so funny. His timing is great, and it was just so nice to meet him. And he was just walking around in the front of the convention center, and like I felt so bad. Like, oh please, can you let me take a picture with you? But he was like, oh yeah, sure. And it was like, I think he was there with a friend. He was there with someone, and they were very friendly and very nice. And I was so starstruck. The only thing I could say was like, oh, I love you. I love everything you're in. I can't wait to see you and what you're in next. Thank you so much for this. And like, I didn't even get to say like, oh, I love Detroiters. That's one of my all-time favorites. No, I'm nothing. I couldn't even think of anything else to say to him other than, oh, thank you. I don't want to take up any more of your time. But yeah, thank you, Sam Richardson, for being a sweetheart.
That's it. Like, how many people are you going to chase down for a photo? I don't normally. If it's like if I see a celebrity, it's like, oh, that's cool. Very few people will chase down for a photo.
Yeah,
and like sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because we've
been getting chased down a lot of handsome.
Yeah, a lot of people have been chasing us
handsome
down.
boys.
And like that's a big difference between this and Gen Con. It's like you might see a couple celebrities at Gen Con, but they're not usually going to be Oscar nominated. They're not usually going to be in 5 or 6 Netflix movies a year. It's not these kind of people. It's like I saw Joe Manganiello once there, but that's because he's a D&D nerd. He had his own line of like high end D&D clothing that he was supporting one year at Gen Con, but like that was it. And there's plenty of like people who host nerd shows and stuff at Gen Con, but not like movie stars and stuff,
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing about coming here is, you get to see some people that you won't see running around Indianapolis.
That's cool. And Alan Henry turned out to be a huge gaming nerd. He's like,
oh yeah,
I got the whole dice set tattooed into my arm, and I was like, whoa. We got to talk about D&D and other. He loves tabletop gaming. I was like, that's cool. I love that.
Speaking of gaming, that's what I did pretty much all yesterday.
Yeah, tell him about you went. You went undefeated.
Yeah. So yesterday I played Magic the Gathering. So yesterday was the pre-release for the new Magic set called Bloomborough.
Cute little mice.
Yeah, it was all like woodland critters. think like Mouse Guard, Redwall kind of stuff. And they had a whole room for gaming in the Marriott Marquee Hotel, which is just attached kind of to just next door to the convention center. And so I went down there yesterday, and it's technically the pre-release for a set means it's like, the set isn't out at retail stores until next weekend. So this is an early weekend where you get to go and play. And the people running the events here were Cascade Games. And there was a good crowd of people here to sign up. I was like early in line, so I got to sign up for the pre-release sealed event. So that's where like you buy like 6 booster packs worth of cards, and then you build a deck out of those 6 booster packs, and then you play. So we played 4 rounds. It was just best of 1 though, but I ended up winning every round. So got some.
And I had no idea how long this took. How long were you, like you say you played 4 rounds and you played that many games. How long in hours did it take you?
I think that tournament started at noon, and then I think I was probably done around 5, maybe. Was it like 4 or 5? Something
That's
like that.
some nerding right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a short tournament because best of 1 means you only play 1 round. You play 1 game against your opponent. Most Magic tournaments are best of 3. So this was like they're trying to get people out there. People are here. A lot of people are here to go see events at Comic-Con. So not everyone's here to just play Magic the whole time.
Yeah.
So they were trying to get people in and out quick, but it was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I got to meet a Magic hero as well. I got to meet Brian David Marshall, BDM. He's a big Magic celebrity and host of a lot of Magic content. He has his own podcast, and he also does coverage at a lot of the big Magic tournaments and stuff. So he was very nice. He chatted with me for a bit, and I'll see him next week at Gen Con. So
Yeah.
Been a lot of playing. What did you boys play today? You were both playing stuff today.
Yeah.
Pinball Wizard.
Yeah, there was the pinball rooms are actually right next door to the gaming room down at the Marriott, and oh my god, they have it's all Stern pinball machines they have down there. It's free to get in there. There was like a small line, but we got in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and they've got a bunch of machines in there. The new ones I think they had a really cool Jaws one.
Really cool.
Yeah, and then they had
And that was a new one?
Yeah,
a newer
I think so,
New
because they had an
Jaws.
old Jaws in there.
Yeah.
Because we almost walked up to that one, and we saw the new one next, so we're like, no, we're doing the new one.
The new Jaws is dope. The new Jaws has a mechanic called Chum the Waters. So if
Yeah.
you hit these specific spots, it like this part in the board gets more and more red, and if you fill it up, this shark fin pops up, and you have to hit the shark fin. The shark fin's going like ding 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 ding.
Thank you.
ding,
Thank
ding,
you. Yours too.
And it's
Game recognized game.
this guy's walking around with these lights and a camera.
Oh, yeah.
He's ready
and
to
a
rock.
good beard.
He said he liked our gear.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that was awesome. The Jaws game was so sick. The new Godzilla game, Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla,
it's like a
all in black and white.
Godzilla.
Oh,
Ooh.
Jaws backpack. Ooh.
And then we played there's a new John Wick pinball machine, which was fun.
Communicado.
Did it say that a lot, or are you just quoting the movie?
I just every person I walked by that was playing it, I just said that.
I assumed it might be like
Yeah.
a clip from the game.
I'm sure it is. I mean, you couldn't have a John
What is it,
Wick.
John Wick 3? If you play a drinking game with the word
Oh yeah, you'll
excommunicado,
pass
you're
out.
dead.
Yeah.
You'll
For
just
sure.
die.
Just
Yeah.
dead.
You'll just die. But yeah, and then we played the Venom one, which is honestly like one of
Sick.
and I think Aaron racked up like 95 million points on that one.
I was destroying that game.
he was killing it. But
I
yeah,
had
that
a
game
good
was
run
awesome.
on Jaws too.
Yeah, Jaws was good too.
The latest
I'm-
Elvira one was dope too.
Oh yeah, Elvira. And I'm actually terrible at pinball, so which is fine, but I love it.
Not winning any tournaments in that one.
No.
You
I'll
are.
stick to turning cards sideways, slanging spells.
And this is
That's
too
my
much for
thing.
me. Like
Aaron is the pinball wizard. Aaron is hitting those.
is that a thing you're
flippers.
good at, or you just like we're good today?
I'm good at pinball.
And he has a stance. He
Does he?
Like, yeah, one leg's out. It's like he's like stretching almost.
Can you do it?
He's like straddling
Can you do
the
We'll get a picture of
machine.
it. We'll get a
Okay,
picture.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Can
yeah,
you insert
Kevin got-
insert a picture here?
Yeah, Kevin got pictures of it. The funny thing is, so it's like there's hitting the flippers, but then there's learning how to catch the ball. So if the ball comes down, you can
Sure.
catch it on the flipper
yeah.
and then set up your shots. That's the next level. Then you got to learn like what shots mean what. Follow the blinking lights. Whatever's blinking means hitting. A good thing's gonna happen. And then you got to learn how to love the table. Okay?
all in the
that
hips.
movie with Jodie Foster at the beginning.
Oh, God. What a horrible reference.
It's a pinball joke.
Cut that. Jesus.
No.
Yeah. Do you need me to explain it to you?
Well, you have to learn how to hump the table right, because that's what gets it. Like, if it hits and it's about to go out, you just gotta.
You don't want to tilt though.
But you don't want to tilt.
Mhm.
It's
Don't
just the
tilt.
right kind of. Yeah, you
Wanna
gotta
tilt.
get right. You know.
But yeah, I could. Pinball was fun.
Pinball was really fun.
Oh, and they have a giant, like wax statue of Quint,
Yeah,
like sitting in a fishing chair with a big fishing pole,
crushing the
crushing a GAN set in his hand.
Not as part of the pinball, just a display.
It's a display, and then right next to it is the giant Jaws head with a giant pinball in its mouth,
Yeah,
and it's like right next to him. It's a really, and like the likeness is great. Like it's a very well done. Like
really, really good wax figure.
wax
I mean, that
figure,
must
yeah.
they must have got that donated from Mammon Tussauds or something.
yeah, it's great, but it was worth going in there just to see that, and then like playing pinball, super fun.
And then shout out to our buddy Blaine over at the NECA booth. Got that interview.
God, he was so nice, so cool to hear him talk about all that.
Right.
It's funny because it's like when you say you're proud of somebody, like usually that's somebody like you have I don't know, like
you have a stake in it.
you have a stake in it. I have no stake in his business and his profession, but like I am so proud of what that guy's done this year in his like getting to do his hero as Pee Wee Herman, and getting to do another of his heroes, Elvira, and getting to do such unique pieces like designing a rainbow dress with Cassandra Peterson. Like, dude, killing it, crushing it. Good for you.
If
And
you
he
guys,
got to do Vincent Price. These were like were like all things that he was like, these are my heroes.
Yeah, you
if
made
you
it, dude.
don't remember Blaine from last year, Blaine works at NECA. He's one of their designers that, and he just does so much stuff with NECA. He's their Scream face, he's their Scream ghost face guy. He's definitely a big horror guy. He's a huge Elvira guy, huge Pee Wee Herman guy.
He loves
And he's
the
a
camp.
fan of all
he
that stuff.
loves the camp.
Loves the cat.
Yeah.
He's easy. He's easy to root for. So I'm always rooting for him. And it's like when he gets to do something awesome like that, you're like, yeah.
And he's so excited to tell us about like the different iterations of the figure and why it was different to produce this figure than iterations of that figure in the past, or why this figure is notable in the line or in the wave because of something that they've innovated that's new to that specific figure, whether it's articulation or interchangeable faceplates. Like you said, that Elvira, all the Elvira figures, the ultimate figures have interchangeable faceplates that will fit with each figure. So if you buy all of the figures, then you could use any of the faces on any of the figures. And he's like so excited to explain that and talk about that. He's so excited to tell us, like he was telling us about, they have some amazing Texas Chainsaw Leatherface figures coming out. And he said that they worked hard to make sure that his dinner plate had the same exact food on it in the same exact places as it did in the movie. And that's like super fun. That's super cool. And we love, you guys who watch and follow us, you know how excited we are when the people we're talking to are excited about whatever they're telling us. Yeah. And that's Blaine. Blaine is always so excited to share all these different things that they're doing. And I mean, we friggin' love those figures anyway. And when it's you know what it is? It's like when you watch a movie or a movie that you love, right? And then someone related to that movie is like, but what you don't know is that the take we didn't use, this caught on fire. And to have that behind the scenes thing, it further connects you with something that you love, not just the figure, but the property. And I think that's, Blaine kind of does that for us, right? Yeah. Where he's like, let me tell you why this ghost face has these marks here, and here.
That's so cool. It's so fun.
And we got to see the new Alien Romulus figure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that thing looks so cool.
The hype around that movie at this con is so big because they played the trailers, they played clips.
There was the panel yesterday, and literally thousands of people walking out of the convention center with face huggers.
Yeah.
Like on their face, on their neck, in their hands, like little babies cradled. There were
6,000. Wow.
6,500 people leaving that
Comic-Con staff is telling us how many.
All with face huggers. and I was super jealous. I was like,
I was jealous.
we were all kind of jealous.
Some people had multiple face huggers on their head. And you're like, that's not even how it works.
Give me that face hugger.
That's not even how it works.
Incredible.
But yeah, that movie looks sweet. The figure looks amazing. It's an amazing sculpt. It's a really cool. Very much like
the design is really
the design.
It's taken the design, the best elements of
Yes.
all the aliens we've seen, but we're back to that sort of semi-translucent skull piece, so you can see the human skull inside of the alien.
At least
head.
at some point it has that. I think there might be multiple aliens in this because he said it has a different.
Well, I'm wondering if it's battle
attachment.
damage.
Well, because he said scorched. That's
that's
scorched
why I'm
version.
thinking battle damage.
So maybe it's what's underneath the ridges. Maybe it originally looks like a warrior alien, and then they get that thing ripped off. Like it looks like an alien's. Who knows? We'll see though.
Speculation.
But yeah, it looked very cool. And then I think to me, like I was hiding in the back taking pictures while they were interviewing Blaine. And one thing he dropped was that he was talking about the Predator line and the Alien line. And he said we've been working, with when the license got bought by Disney, like Fox sold to Disney, 20th century, whatever it is now. But he said, now that they've got it all figured out, they've got the Prey figure out, they've got the Alien Romulus figure out, he said it means that they can move forward with their old lines, some of the stuff that they've been working on. And he smiled about it. He was very happy about it. And what that means is, all the NECA fans who've been waiting for more Predator figures and more Alien figures, things like the Kenner line, that they have the Kenner tributes. People have been waiting for Wolf Predator for many, many years. And people are excited about getting more figures from those lines. And people were kind of worried that they were done with them. And I think that means good things.
Yeah, he said
for those fans.
He said that they tried to wait kind of until Disney and everyone figured out what they were going to do and the dust settled before they were like, "Hey, let's keep doing these." So he was implying, that maybe we got some good news in the future.
I literally was like, I think I've gotten to the end of what I need from what NECA's making right now, and just when I thought it was out, they're like, we're probably doing more Hammer horror, and I was like, drag me back in.
Gorgeous horror of Dracula
because they're doing
figures.
Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, and I was like, as Dracula and Van Helsing, and I'm like, well, does that mean we might get a Curse of Frankenstein, Christopher Lee as well, and Peter Cushing? He's like,
and the likenesses on those figures are
exactly what you said it. How he said it.
The likenesses on those figures were insanely good.
So good.
It was like, I love horror of Dracula and I love, Hammer movies, but they don't necessarily, it's not very important to me per se. It's not something I need to collect or need to display. But the Christopher Lee horror of Dracula figure was so fucking gorgeous that I don't know how I could not get that. I need that one. And it looks so, and then I gotta get Van Helsing.
Yeah, those two actors are as iconic to horror to me as someone like Vincent Price or as someone like, Boris Karloff. These people are like horror to a lot of people.
He also made Vincent Price figure, not necessarily a character Vincent Price played, but an actual regular, the actor Vincent Price figure. And he told us about the accessories that it comes with, and it detailed why it came with these ones. He even told us, I'm not gonna say it here, but he even told us a accessory he wanted to include, but couldn't for some clearance reasons. But it's just great to hear those stories from him. It's great to hear, how things got made, how things almost got made, or how things are coming down the pipe.
Yeah. It was funny. I sent Kate, my wife, a picture of the Vincent Price toy, and she goes, "They didn't do the blonde hair from Fall of the House of Usher."
Maybe for the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say there's more coming for that too, right?
Ooh.
Maybe.
That'd be awesome, dude.
That was very cool. He's such a nice guy, and that was so cool of him
fun
to take that time to chat with you guys.
Yeah, it was a long interview, long chunk too. Rooms, what has been either something awesome that you got, that you're excited that you got, or experienced? What is a highlight? It doesn't have to be but what is a highlight?
A highlight. We found a little vendor booth. It was like Atomic Monster or something like that. And in there they had foreign movie posters, which everybody knows me. Yeah. I collect foreign movie posters. And they had a couple that made me go, like, here it is in the wild. And two of them that made me jump like that, 2 or 3 of them, they had a Son of Godzilla poster, which I almost bought, but the poster wasn't that cool. But in German Godzilla posters, he's called Frankenstein. I don't know why, but it was like Frankenstein, cool stump son building. And I was like, that's cool. I almost bought it just for that reason. The one I bought was the Turkish space amoeba poster, which has this giant kaiju squid trashing Gamera Rules. And we'll talk about that in a second. And then the other one that made me gas was a full-size Inframan. And I love the movie Inframan. It's a Shaw Brothers tokusatsu, but I already have a lobby card version of it. That's an original. I don't need a full-size poster.
Yeah, that's a cool poster.
But that made me gasp. I was so excited for it. Let's talk about Gamera Rules. Why is that?
All right. Gamera Rules.
It's the joke of the con.
Yeah, that's something that's a repeating joke that we keep doing that isn't even that funny, but we think it's hysterical. First night we were here, I think it was before Kevin even got here, it was me and Rumi, and there was like a Godzilla display, a pretty good like Millennium Godzilla statue, and people were taking pictures, and Rumi and I were waiting our turn to get our pictures with Godzilla, and I was like, dude, just jump in the middle of their photo and go, Gamera Rules! I mean, how funny it would be to photobomb somebody's picture or video with Gamera Rules.
So that became the photobomb war cry.
Didn't matter what it was. It didn't have to do with Godzilla.
Yeah. Just jump in front and yell, Gamera Rules.
Like all these different things. Like anytime like you saw a little kid taking a picture with a costume, like, Gamera Rules. We didn't actually do it. Or Gamera Rules. There was like this teenage girl just gushing over some very pretty woman who was probably an actress. And I love you all. You did such a great job. Thank you. And thank you. What's your name? You can follow me on Instagram. Gamera Rules. And even today we were at NECA. We're talking with Blaine, and Blaine's talking about Romulus, and some random dude sticks his head in behind us and is like, but they already showed the whole movie in the trailer. We don't get to see it anymore. You know the whole movie already. Yeah, take that. And walked away. And me and Aaron looked at each other and we're like, Gamera Rules. He Gamera ruled us. How funny is this for you guys? Because you're not here and you're not, you didn't get to do any of this. Is it funny to hear us talk about how funny we think our joke is that you are there for?
Hey, Matt. The second bus showed up. Second bus showed up.
That's the second joke of the con.
Second bus showed up.
Oh, God.
The buses have been oddly slow yesterday. Today, they're good, though. Yeah.
Yeah. In the morning, they're much faster. At night, they can take a little while. But depends when you're coming or going.
We've had a lot of like planes getting canceled and crazy traffic and like trying to cross a street and a train stops the traffic, and then the train stops for 15 minutes. And then I'm walking through a whole bunch of thing, and then they block the whole route off and waiting. Or like, why did you stop us from walking? Oh, because a celebrity's coming off the boats, and then everyone's looking, and it literally is fucking Yo Gabba Gabba. So all these characters come out.
I'm pretty sure the celebrity who just walked in front of us was Betty Gilpin.
Who's that? I didn't recognize.
She was from Glow, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, and she was in that movie about hunting people. I forget what it was called. Hunt?
Gamera Rules.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's her. Pretty sure that was Betty Gilpin.
It was a giant group of people. So we didn't explain. We're sitting in a hallway in Comic-Con, kind of like a back hallway. There's meeting rooms around us.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
There's meeting rooms around us, and people walking back and forth. So it's good people watching. You'll have noticed that we're like looking back and forth. We're making eye contact and nodding at different people. But that's what we're doing. Just sitting here doing
making friends, enemies.
And there's a very special VIP area right over there where special people are going in and out.
There's been a lot of veggie trays coming and going out of that.
And coffee that I want.
And but I saw no Gabba Gabba.
That's veggie trays.
No Gabba Gabba people coming out of that.
See, you don't have the appreciation. Before I had kids, we'd sit around and watch Gabba Gabba all the time, if you know what I'm saying. Go, Broby. Go, Broby. Yeah, what?
Yeah,
whatever.
Broby the robot?
Broby's the green guy with really long arms.
Oh, yeah. They all walked by. It was
Obviously.
a waste of time. But we were we were waiting for a bus, and it was very busy. And this poor woman was trying to help everyone get on the bus and put someone's wheelchair underneath the bus. And while all of that's going on, this little old man comes up to the bus driver and is like, "Excuse me, the second bus is here. It's waiting. It's behind." And
Okay.
I saw that happen, and Rumi was standing in front of me, and I knew Rumi turned around. I was like, "Why? What? How is that helping?
How's that helping?
How is that helping?" So that's just become our, I don't know what to say, or someone says or does something stupid.
Looking good,
We
Freddie.
just text each other.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury just
walked
swag
by.
by.
If he had had a Freddy Krueger glove on, I would have lost my shit.
Oh, Freddie Mercury Krueger.
Freddie Mercury Krueger.
Ms. Marvel's got a little bit of a tantrum going on right now.
So there's a little tiny girl, a toddler in a Miss Marvel costume, and the
Like a-
dad's walking her by, holding her by her hand.
She is
I wish she just started
obviously-
Like a
stretching her
2-year-old?
hand out.
Looks like a 2-year-old.
It'd be cool if she stopped walking and her hand just stretched out with the dad.
She has obviously had enough. Had enough.
We've all had our meltdowns.
Dad, Gamera Rules.
I think that Bat Who Laughs was the best costume I've seen so far.
It was really good, and
Yeah.
I don't know where his eyes were.
Yeah, like non like because we saw some Godzilla ones this morning.
They're professional.
Yeah, yeah,
Professional, yeah, like those were by Toho,
Those
right?
were corporate level.
corporate
yeah,
level costumes. Those were insane. But yeah, no, that Batman Who Laughs was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
My handsome boy costume is pretty good.
Oh yeah, man. After all these years, still rocking it.
Yeah, still fits.
Oh,
I love it. What's on the docket now? We're chilling now. We have nothing else scheduled for today. But what else do we want to do? What else is on our radar for the next couple days? Do you know?
I mean, I need to find something for my kid, and it can't be a plush, and it can't be a T-shirt or a little backpack. And she already has too many toys. Like, I'm looking for maybe some art for my kid.
You could probably just draw her something and tell her you got it from Comic-Con.
You know what? She probably would think that's even better.
Yeah, you're also like a good artist, so like you could do
Give her a
some
launch
cool
pad shirt.
art.
Yeah, give her a
Give her a launch pad shirt. Be like, wait a minute.
Close in the dark.
What was Reagan's last name? We got there's a like a trivia / game show type of game panel tonight. That's like it takes comic book characters and comic book plots, and you have to figure out if they're real or fake. So they tell you something, and it might be real or fake. That sounds like it might be a fun way to end the night. Before we go to, there's a little soiree, like a tiny party at one of the hotels next door, where it's kind of like a meet and greet and chat.
Yeah.
And some of them are friends that we know. Some of them are people we don't. But we went last year. We had a good time doing it last year. Right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, make yourself at home. Plenty of Coke and sex in the house.
Oh, I wish it was that kind of party. A cocaine bear party. Those are good.
Dude, wait, are we going to burn the place down like the Penguin Party did?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, last night we're
Two
walking
different
down the
fire-related
street.
things, yes.
We're seeing like giant plumes
Just-
of smoke, and Kevin's like, "That place is on fire." I'm like, "No, I'm sure it's just like
Yeah,
something for the
no,
show."
That's a big fire.
That's a big fire. We get down there, and all the restaurants are closed. All the staff's
All
out
the
in the
staff
streets.
are out in the middle of the street.
2 or 3 fire trucks with giant ladders up.
Oh my god!
We were trying to get like further away from like, I mean, it was like, you know, they had just closed the exhibit hall, so everyone was being, you know, pushed out of the exhibit hall, and everyone's out onto the streets looking for food. So we were like, oh, we'll walk further, you know, we'll find food, not as close. Of course, the closer we get to the not fire, we're like, oh no, all these restaurants are closed because of the fire.
They're on fire.
Oops.
So,
And it was the Penguins, like a Comic-Con related penguin thing that
Yeah, it was
went
like a
on fire.
penguin restaurant
Which
or something.
doesn't
I
make
don't
sense
know.
because he owns the Iceberg Lounge. So you'd think it'd cancel each other out.
oh, that's
Is Colin Farrell playing that character in the new show
Yeah.
then too? Okay, that's cool.
yeah, and like 10 pounds of makeup on his face.
Oh yeah, for
Too much
sure.
shit on my
There's
face.
so much shit on my face. I can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
Tomorrow, I should be meeting with artist Ken Lashley, who did the current, present, time frame stuff in Predator vs. Wolverine, to get a page from him. I'm getting a battle page between Wolverine and Predator.
Are we against Hall H right now?
No.
Well, we're against something that's Very loud.
Rumbling.
Put your ear.
I need a glass.
You're hearing it here first. This is a Comic-Con.
The walls are rumbling.
Every single time I hear that, it sounds
Kinda
like
feels
Jurassic
good.
Park, right?
Yeah.
It's Jurassic Park. What else could it be?
Just a giant T-Rex comes around the corner. Faster, faster, must go faster.
That's one of Kent's, one of Kent's favorite lines of all of Jurassic Park. Faster, must go faster.
Well, this has been good, guys. Super fun time at Comic-Con. Kevin, would you do it again? Would you come out to the big dance one more time?
I don't know. Probably not. Mostly because I have access to a giant convention in my hometown.
This just confirmed that you don't need to.
No, and this is a must. This is like a must do thing. Like if you're a nerd and you love comic books or you love movies or you should come. You got to
do it at least once, right?
You got to.
It is the pilgrimage. You have to try it once,
and it's so cool. But I'm also doing it. I'm here with you guys. You guys were kind enough to invite me and stay with you guys, and that makes it so much easier for me and so much more, affordable and doable. I understand why people come here and it's their whole vacation. And I see this every time I go to Gen Con. It's like people are coming from all over the world for that convention. I drive 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I drive 20 minutes and I go home and sleep in my big bed with an AC that works. And it's great. It's great. I love it. But
I think
you don't wake up in the middle of the night with your wife eating Oreos as loud as possible.
I literally opened the pack. That's all that happened. That's your problem with Nabisco. That's not my fault that their package opens
Take it up with customer
loud.
Service. That's why Sun Chips don't come in a biodegradable bag anymore. It was too loud. People complained.
People complained.
Yeah, but no, it's great. I'm so glad I came. But do I need to come back? I mean, no. Might I come back sometime? Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah.
You also could come and you don't have to do the whole thing.
But Matt, now we have to go to Gen Con at some point.
You guys
check
definitely do.
Because we'll have a place to stay.
Yes.
50 minutes away.
Yeah.
And I heard there's a big bed.
Oh, no, not in just mine.
Where am I going to sleep?
The guest room's all right.
The guest room in a twin bed with my brother.
I'm not really a guest room kind of guy.
Yeah, well,
you could take the guest room.
Well, yeah, I've got some hookups on some Airbnbs as well, even closer to downtown. So
damn,
yeah. But it would be awesome to have you guys come down to Gen Con. I think you guys would have a blast.
Oh yeah, as well. We would kill it. It'd be so fun. Yeah. Hi, dog. Do not pet.
Police dog.
It's a working dog.
Do not pet.
It's a working dog.
Don't pet it. Because I want to pet that dog.
I always feel bad when you see a working dog because that dog wants to be a dog, but it has a job. It has responsibility.
Guys, I would love for you to pet me, but I'm working right now.
But that dog was with a police officer who was walking with the dog. So the dog had to be at his job. Like he was on the clock. And the police officer had a giant Chicago-style piece of pizza in his other hand.
Brick. It's like a brick of bread, and
so it's
there's like no distracting.
It's like
dog.
It's like I feel like if you throw a ball and tell the dog sit, and the dog has to stay there even though it just wants to go get that ball. I feel like police dogs are probably like that a lot. And now he's like sit. Sit.
I just want to see the video where like some guy runs by committing a crime and the cop goes, "Hey, you stop!" And the dog's like, just jumps on that pizza as fast as
he lets go of the leash, thinking that he's gonna go like chase down the perp, and he's like, "Get him, boy!" And the dog's like, needs that pizza.
Like he'll get to the other thing, but priorities.
He's like, I can do both.
I can do both.
Watch how fast
take it on the go.
Get you a dog that can do both.
Yeah. How fast I snarf this pizza down, and I'm going to catch that guy. Yeah. Just you watch.
I have twice as many legs as him, and I'll smell him if he goes anywhere else. I have time to eat a pizza.
Well, this has been awesome.
Guys, please watch the rest of our content for the con. There's a lot of good interviews.
I promise I will get it all out in the same year that it has been filmed in.
We often break it up so that it's not too much at once, and then it just kind of gets archived.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to release as much as we can this year.
I think we can do it.
I believe in you guys.
Thanks. Kev, thanks for coming. Matt,
Thank you so much for having me.
We should blast this thing off.
we got to do a 3-way.
Yeah, how do we do that?
Like this. You two do it like that, and I'll push in this way, okay?
All right, Ray, let's do it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. We're the Rocketeers, and we're out.
You didn't do social media.
Hit that like and subscribe.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at LaunchpadPod, on our website, launchpadpod.com. Check us out on YouTube, where you can see our funny and handsome faces. Albeit tired and slightly dehydrated, but that's all right.
That was your one advice to yourself. That was the one thing you said.
It's all right. It is what it is. Anyway, we're the Rocketeers, and we are out.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3,